Hello, I'm Steve Inskeep in Washington, here at Marketplace. I'm interviewing Hatshepsut, the only female pharaoh that ever lived in Egypt. Maybe a prime minister, but she's the only pharaoh, and she's dead. So, I'd like to thank my sponsors, Doritos, that great cheesy taste you love on a chip. I'd also like to thank my other sponsor, Taco Bell, when he really needs to use the bathroom. And I'd like to thank my third sponsor, Double Stuffed Oreos. They're Oreos with double the stuff.
Thank you, Steve, for having me. Actually, I've came back from the dead.
That is fascinating. So, Hatshepsut, you've been called a king. Do you agree with that? Or do you not think you're a king? You think you're a queen because you're a woman?
Well, actually, Steve, whenever I was at the top of the great empire, I dressed like a man because I felt like I was not accepted by society, but deep down, I was really a woman.
So, due to the fact that you were a woman, did that cause any problems in your rule? And did you have any problems that were different from other pharaohs because you were a woman?
Well, I was faced with two problems: how to forward my political vision for Egypt, and how to ensure my credibility to my people. How I did this was I focused attention on trade and peaceful pursuits to return our glorious status as a whole. Also, I kept my army very strong to ensure that we were safe from outside invaders.
Well, that's good and all, but to me that sounds pretty friggin' lame. Did you do anything else to further Egypt in its cultural or economic aspects?
You know what? I don't really like that comment, you stupid coo, because I actually did do some other stuff.
Then why don't you go ahead and tell me then, you incompetent man lady?
You know what? Maybe I will. I focused my attention on repairing many of the Egypt shrines. My inscriptions claim that I was the first pharaoh to repair the damages caused by the Hyksos, who were Asian settlers who had taken over the northern Egypt before the strong New Kingdom dynasty had expelled them, obviously.
Well, you sound like the most boring person I've ever met, and I work for NPR, so that's saying something. Did you at least build anything cool? Like anything with architecture?
People consider me like an architectural goddess. See, my crowning architectural achievement was my beautiful funerary temple, Dire el Bahari. It was kind of a legacy to my future. Really, all those buildings, no doubt, contributed to my popularity, to my people, basically. So, like, I'm really cool considered, like, by the people. I'm just considered really cool.
I seem to doubt that a lot because you are very annoying.
Actually, you're wrong. Not only did this bring employment to people, it was evidence that the gods approved me. Like, I was kind of like their little sister. I was like, just so close to them.
Well, how did you even friggin' become pharaoh?
I mean, other than my obvious success in domestic and foreign policy, I confronted the problem of how to portray myself. To prove the right for me to rule, I used Egyptian art as propaganda. Also, I'm shown seated in one of my sculptures, dressed in short skirt and headdress of a traditional male pharaoh. But also, my female features are shown of my to-die-for body.
Your body is not to die for, and that brings me on the most important question of all. When did you finally frickin' get into the ground and die? Because I'm sure your people wished it since you walked in to the palace as pharaoh. And how long did it take you when you served? Because I'm sure you probably got assassinated because you're annoying.
Well, actually, my reign lasted about 22 years, in fact. And my death is a mystery, honestly. I mean, some people think it was Thutmose III. I served as his aunt/stepmother until one day he became very aggravated with me whenever his wife died suddenly. I'm guessing he blamed it on me, so as a strong military leader, he came to me and assassinated me
So did he take over?
Yes, he did. By 1458, his name appears alone as pharaoh. By that date, they had assumed I had died.
Well, that was Marketplace for today. I sincerely hope that the viewers did not have as bad of a time as I did. Thank you to Hatchetput for joining me today, and I hope you friggin' die again. More painfully than the first time.
You know what? Thank you for having me. I mean, I'm just such an important person because, I mean, I built so much architecture. I mean, I just was...
And that's all the time we have tonight here at NPR, National Public Radio.
Hey, I was still
Hey,
talking.
shut up!
Oh my God, you're so...
I'm Steve Inskeep in Washington. Have a wonderful Thursday night, and thank you for tuning in.